Tonight on AfterBuzz TV SmackDown Live After Show, a new #1 contender for the women's title, a new #1 contender for the WWE title, and a U.S. Open challenge with Gary Gandy. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I'm enjoying this.
For the first time.
For the first time ever. And we're going to have to get used to it. We're going to be hearing this more. And we're going to break this down live on AfterBuzzTV.com, the AfterBuzz TV YouTube page, iTunes, SoundCloud. You're liking and subscribing, telling the world, and the universe even, about AfterBuzz TV. What's up, everybody? I'm Christian Rosenberg. The Twitter at Rosenberg, Instagram, the Rosenberg. The T-shirts, of course, ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. Over on the other side of the table, the usual crew, my Bollywood boys, at Tom Connolly.
What can we do for you?
And at Scott Narver, it's Scott Narver.
Hold on, I'm putting the song through Google Translate.
What does it say?
What does it say?
It's calling this entire thing. It says on this particular SmackDown Live, I will become the #1 contender.
What?
Yeah, it says it all. It says all in here.
It was in our face all along.
He's a soothsayer.
And hanging out with us this week, our friend. He's an actor. He's a comedian. Once upon a time, he even wrestled.
I like being introduced to this music.
Yeah, well, this is your new theme music.
Oh, boy.
At Shane Hartline, it's Shane Hartline.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Excited to talk about the shocking events that happened on SmackDown this evening.
We, of course, are talking about Primo and Epico versus American Alpha.
Yes, shocking.
Yeah. But we'll get into all that in a little bit, because this was just a packed SmackDown. Like I was just saying just before we went on the air, there was only technically 5 matches, but one of them really wasn't much of a match. But these 2 hours just had so much stuff in it. So many stories developing. So many pushes happened tonight. It was incredible.
That Charlotte push. Whew, out of nowhere.
Deserve it.
That's exactly what I was referencing. That was the only thing that happened tonight. Well, she did start off the show. Coming out and talking about how she's been here on SmackDown for 7 days and she's already lost her patience. She's like, I'm fastly getting furious, just like the Fate of the Furious movie.
I see.
No, that's Fate of the Furious.
Right, but she said, just like that, I'm fastly getting furious.
No, that's a totally different title to a totally different movie. This is the Fate of the Furious.
I'm just telling you what Charlotte said.
Yeah, but I don't see the correlation to it whatsoever.
They just ironically both had the word furious in it. That was it.
Now I get it.
Ah. All right.
And she also said it like Vin Diesel.
Groot. Pay me money.
So she's wondering where her title shot is. She is interrupted by Naomi. Naomi says she hates to see you begging. She's ready to do this right here, right now. They brawl a little bit. Out comes Shane McMahon. And Shane says, hey, Charlotte, well, this is the land of opportunity. You don't just walk in and get title shots here. You have to earn your opportunity. So tonight, you'll have a non-title match with Charlotte. If you win, or Charlotte will have a non-title match with Naomi. And if you win, you will get a title shot next week.
I would watch Charlotte over Charlotte, though, right?
Charlotte versus Charlotte would be a fun match.
It'd be all right.
Fun. It'd be a fun match, too.
Controversial. Cloning, you know.
It'd be like in Mortal Kombat when you pick the same player and it just has a different colored gear.
And
I mean, and eventually WWE will get there. Yeah. They'll get there.
And by the way, that wonderful voice you just heard is our buddy Jim on the booth. At Jim on the booth.
Hi.
Hi. All right.
He's in the roof.
He's up
He's
above,
up in the ceiling.
He's up above us right now.
He keeps the pigeons out.
About to pull a sting and just come from the room.
That would be badass if you suddenly just dropped down.
I was going to say, the only thing bad about this SmackDown episode, no Sting.
Shane's favorite wrestler of all time.
Shane got to meet him Mania
I
weekend.
got to meet Sting.
Is that really your favorite wrestler?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Mine as well. When
Really?
did you meet him?
I met him at the WrestleCon.
Hold on. It should be said, Sting met Shane.
Yes. Shane didn't meet.
No, man, it's okay.
Sting stood
I
in
met
line waiting to meet Shane.
For 2 hours.
and paid like $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 150.
But he was in full Sting gimmick, right? He had the face paint and all that.
Yeah,
suit.
he had his WrestleMania red tasseled suit. Oh, God,
Was it
it was
Wolfpack
so
Sting
good.
or no? Just regular?
No, Wolfpack was
okay.
the day before, and I
Oh, okay.
almost went double. I almost got, and I was like, I can't. As a 30-year-old grown-ass man, pay $300 for 2 pictures, but I paid $150 for 1 picture.
By the way,
yeah.
I know we just kind of started the show, but already the chat roll. Shane, the chat roll apparently thinks you're hot.
Oh, stop it! They're getting me confused with Scott. We get.
I mean,
we
you
get
both
this
have
all the time.
beards.
Yeah.
You both have hair.
His name is Scott. My name is Shane. That's probably the mix
they
up that
both
they're
start with
having
an
here.
S. Yeah.
Easy mix up.
There's a lot of hot comments.
Oh well.
And art.
I guys, stop it. Let's talk gender.
Well, we're not there yet.
Okay.
We're almost there because Natty interrupted us before we can get to gender. Because she's backstage with Shane and she's angry. She's like, why does Charlotte just walking in and has a shot to be #1 contender where I should have the title shot? And Shane's like, you had your shot at WrestleMania. I was in a 6-pack challenge. I didn't have a one-on-one match. And Shane's like, you never asked for it. Because apparently that's all you need to do.
Yeah. It's important. You got to communicate.
Yeah. Well, Carmella came out wondering, hey, where was mine? And Shane's like, you didn't ask. And then Tamina came out and she's like, where was mine? And she was like, you didn't ask. So
Ellsworth asked too, right?
Ellsworth asked for his shot. So next week, Ellsworth goes one-on-one with Naomi.
About
that was
time.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
It's him versus Carmella first. Then if he beats her, then he gets a shot.
So and then afterwards, the 3 women and Ellsworth were all just like, we need to discuss things here because clearly management wants some things to happen, but we should make an adjustment to that.
Are they like forming a group?
I hope not.
Like I don't get what
I
was
hope
going
not.
on there.
It's just like heels uniting or something.
Yeah, because they can't even justify that it's, the faction of women that have been there the whole time because Tamina's there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It was really weird. Even when later on, when Charlotte like walked past them to go to the match,
Yep.
it was like, okay, you're just hanging out. I don't know. It was a weird. It
They
was
just
kind of
don't
a weird
like
thing.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
That torso.
Jimbo, you have a photo up.
So
right?
that is
What
when I
this?
met Sting. I was like
Oh!
12,
I had that.
and
Might still have
that's the figure I got him to sign. But I got to meet like Steve Borden with sunglasses and a hat.
I don't know who that is.
But you got to meet Sting in like full makeup. And
Yeah, bro. My situation was way cooler.
I've heard of Sting.
So-
I don't know who Steve
so
Borden
much
is.
cooler.
But I can one up you on Sting nerddom. You remember that? You remember that MTV show Fanatic?
Yes.
Yeah.
I straight up submitted a tape to try to meet Sting, and that tape. Well, I don't have a copy of it, but I did it all in the big rubber Sting mask, so they probably didn't understand the word I was saying.
Well, Shane, we got news for you. We have a clip. No, we don't. We don't
Is Sting
have it.
here?
Yeah.
God dang it!
He's going to come down to Raptors
I
as soon
have
as Jimbo
so
comes.
many Sting stories. We're gonna have to.
Oh, we
exchange
gotta hang
later.
out after this. Talk Sting stories.
Yeah, that's the new AfterBuzz TV show. Sting
Yeah.
Stories.
Are we at gender yet? Are we at gender yet?
We're at the match now.
Okay.
We're at the match.
Can't wait to talk about
The-
it.
Six.
That graphic blew my mind.
Yeah.
For the
right?
six, yeah, first off, 6-pack challenge for #1 contender. We're looking at it and we're just like, oh, huh? Wait.
The left-hand side makes sense.
Yeah, left hand we had Harper, we had
Sammy.
Zayn, and we had Ziggler.
Yeah.
Okay, all these guys have been teased in the picture before.
Sure. And the right-hand
The
side,
other side, we
was
have-
an essay writing contest. We had 3 winners.
We had Jinder, Mojo,
They submitted a tape
and
to Fanatic.
Rowan. Yeah, I'm looking at this and just like, hold up. So we have Zayn, who just came to SmackDown. Harper, who's now like he's kind of in the midst of really kind of being reinvented the push. Okay, those two understand. Mojo won the Battle Royal. You're pushing him. Okay, I can see you throw. I could see them maybe throwing him in.
That picture's terrible.
It is a terrible picture of him.
It looks like he's got Montezuma's revenge, and he's just trying to get out of that shot as quick as possible. Like, that is not a #1 contender worthy picture.
Then you got Rowan, who was like, okay, he left Orton Lane last week, so maybe there's a dark horse that they're trying to do something with him. You got Jinder, who last won a televised match in 2006, it feels like.
No.
I know you're 2006,
exaggerating,
but it's been a long time. And who am I missing? I said Harper, Ziggler. And Ziggler, who's around.
He's former world champion.
He's former world champion. He had the most credibility
Yes.
in this match. And I'll tell you what, first off, they gave this match like a half hour. And every one of these guys was great. I honestly was really impressed with Jinder. I was impressed with how Mojo did. I was impressed with how Ziggler did. Rowan, I thought, looked great in this match. Harper, we know how good Harper is. Zayn, we know how good Zayn is. This match, first off, I see already a lot of people complaining in the chat. Well,
Why are they complaining?
Well, complaining, hey, where was Nakamura in that match? Why wasn't Dillinger in that match? Why wasn't AJ in the match? Look.
AJ already's number 1 contender for U.S. title.
Right, he's already that. He's already in the story. Nakamura, you can't throw him in immediately to the main event picture. We gotta,
He's into it.
People would hate that.
Well, no,
It'd be awful.
No, I'm saying, of course, a lot of fans will like it, but then all of a sudden you push him too quickly. Then we have the issue that we had with Paige, where all of a sudden she got pushed to the moon immediately, and then we don't know what to do anymore because she already did this and this.
Well,
and this.
granted, I think he could handle it a little bit better than Paige, but I think that there's something to just easing in his push, just being patient with it.
Get him in the WWE, put him in some sort of funny band. Then if that doesn't work out, release him. Years later, bring him back.
Wait,
Have him lose.
before you do that,
boom.
before you do that though, you should have him somehow be like an estranged relative to another larger wrestler of his heritage.
Bastion Booger.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so this match itself I thoroughly enjoyed this match. I mean, if we fast forward to the ending, Sami Zayn and Jinder Mahal are the two in the ring. Zayn is all lined up for the haluva kick. But all of a sudden, on each of Zayn's feet is a Bollywood boy. That's right, Bollywood boys. We haven't really seen in a long time in NXT or 205 Live.
They've been on I saw
They've been there.
Like 2 weeks ago. They started doing the kind of the heel thing. So I was like, that's it. It was out of nowhere though.
Yeah. So they show up, distract Zayn. Jinder hits a combination of like Cobra Clutch, rock bottom type finishing maneuver, and the ref counts to 3 in favor of Jinder Mahal. I repeat,
Loudly and slowly.
Jinder Mahal is the #1 contender for the WWE title at Backlash. The crowd was pissed, and I love it.
It needs to happen.
Yes!
For the sake of surprises, for the sake of shakeup, this is a very international episode of SmackDown. And then on top of that, what was great was the crowd booed Jinder.
Yes!
And Jinder wasn't trying to be cool. He wasn't trying to get cheers. The guy just took the crowd's boos and was a villain. It's nice to see someone just be a villain in wrestling.
And sometimes you gotta give the fans what they don't want. You can't always get what you want. And that's that yin and yang that keeps us coming back in wrestling. It was funny when I got here to the AfterBuzz studios this evening to watch SmackDown with you. I showed up kind of late, and it was immediately after this. And Christian over here, I sit down, and he's like, "So do you want to know what just happened?" And he starts running me through the people in the match, and I stopped him. And I'm like, "Mojo won, didn't he?" Because just by the look on his face, I was like, something kind of shocking happened, and I thought that's what he was gonna say. Never in a million years did I think Jinder was the one you were gonna tell me.
When was the last time he won a one-on-one? Oh, not just one, a match period on television.
Maybe his first match back on Raw when he
He beat Swagger
again.
when Swagger moved to SmackDown.
No, he won tonight. What's wrong with
I'm saying the last time before that.
Tonight. He won tonight. He's the #1 contender.
He is.
You don't know when he won. He won tonight.
The only thing about the whole thing is, didn't he cut some kind of promo about diversity?
Yeah.
So after the match, Renee goes in the ring to talk to him, and he talks about, he's like, I don't care about the crowd booing me because, you know, they boo like who I am or where I came from, and how the crowd does not accept diversity.
I just wish it wouldn't have to be
Yeah.
about. I wish he could just be a wrestler that's just a big, strong monster, and like it doesn't have to be about diversity. Like,
I
why
totally
does that
agree.
got to be brought into the picture?
Yeah, I just think it's like, especially just, I don't know, with the world and just how it is. It's like, why can't we just not like this guy because we just don't like him? Like, it doesn't have to be because of where he's from or, you know, all that kind of stuff. Especially them being a global company. Like, you know, if say he beats Orton, and then he goes to.
Oh my God,
you know,
it'd be
wherever.
to me,
Like,
it'd be
you know,
so
it's like-
amazing if
yeah.
he beat Orton. If they somehow,
I would like him
I would love
more
it.
as champion right now than Orton. Orton
Yeah.
does nothing for me as
Yeah,
champion
I think
right now.
Orton's been boring since he won the. Like,
Well, he's only won it for 2 weeks. He's
I know,
had it for
but
2
still,
getting mad. He's
he
getting
should have
mad.
never. Not really. He just. I would have never taken it off of Bray in the first place. And then,
Get mad.
then when Orton came out after, and then we get kind of like, there was no real follow up after the match.
Well-
like I was like, why is Jinder's just gonna leave?
Hinder is a great
Hindering
band.
no
Hinder
more.
is a great band.
He is hindered no more.
I mean, as much as I didn't like the whole diversity thing, he did deliver a good promo after the match, which, you know, he was like, he was being a heel, like what he needed to be.
Yeah.
And then I kind of thought there'd be like some kind of beatdown on Orton as he's watching this Bray Wyatt, you know, being distracted, and it was like nothing. You're like, he just walked out of the ring.
No,
Yeah.
he's like us. He got bored. He's like, all right, this is boring.
So-
get out of here.
So Jinder's talking. Orton comes out to congratulate him and says the only prize you're winning though is an RKO from me. And if this House of Horrors match I have against Bray at Payback is like the last house he brought me to, I'll burn it to the ground too. And then lights go out. Bray appears on the Tron. And yeah, so in the midst of this, Jinder just kind of leaves the ring, I guess.
Boring.
Yeah. But I like this, and I hope they kind of keep going with this, where Orton's kind of just like, yeah, whatever, I'll deal with him later. I got to focus on Bray. It's like, no, like these other 5 guys just down a six-pack challenge are like, oh, whatever, Jinder's in here, and they ended up winning the match. And I want him to be like, oh, whatever, what has Jinder done? He was in a band once, you know. It's just,
He's
but
the
then
funny
all of a
one.
sudden,
What are you talking about?
but he was the drummer, right?
He's the funny one.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, like, you know, Jinder could take that. It's like, yeah, stop just like brushing me to the side like I'm nothing. I am so intrigued with how they're going to do this. If this does not define SmackDown of the land of opportunity, I don't know what else could.
The rest of the show does.
All right, good point. So, I mean, we could spend this entire time just talking about the fact that Jinder's the #1 contender.
Jinder would love that.
Good. For
I
him.
know. And I'm happy for Jinder. This guy's been there for a long time now. He was released. He came back. And he's never really gotten any type of legit opportunity.
All he had to do was get in ridiculously good shape. That's all Vince needed. Oh my God, look at that guy. He has a 6-pack. Get him in the title match right now.
Veins. Look at the veins.
But Sir Mr. McMahon, I've been with the company for 5 years now.
But you've got veins popping out now. My God. Vascular. No, but above everyone else in the match, I think even Mojo, like, I don't think we'd be talking about it this much if it wasn't Jinder.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone's going to be talking about it this week, and I think that's one of the reasons they chose Jinder is, like, everyone is going to be talking.
He was the honestly, looking at the group, he was the last person I thought would win this match.
I would have said Mojo last, but
I would think Mojo ahead of Ziggler because he at least had the momentum going from the Battle Royal and beat Jinder last week. Prove that he can get a big win without Gronk at ringside.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what they're doing with Sammy though. It's kind of, I feel like he's on the same path he was on Raw of like getting close, but always losing.
Could we ever see Generico? Him switch to El Generico?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Unless there was like a 1 week thing where all of a sudden a guy he was feuding with was taking an open challenge and here comes some guy in a mask type deal and it just happened to be like a Generico mask. But
If Matt Hardy is broken in the WWE and we have a Lake of Reincarnation, absolutely.
Like that idea. Great idea.
so let's keep moving on, I guess, with the show, even though as much as I Just want to keep talking about that. Renee's backstage with AJ Styles. Renee asks him who he would prefer the face for the U.S. title. If you had a choice between Kevin Owens or Chris Jericho, since they're facing off against each other at Payback. And he's immediately interrupted by Baron Corbin. He's just like, all right, sorry I'm late. What do you want to ask me? And there's this interview's not for you.
Yeah, Baron Corbin turned into a stilted office worker who's super awkward. He dropped the biker gimmick entirely. Turned to Milton from Office Space.
Where's my stapler?
Have you seen my Bosley cream?
And so, like, Corbin's wondering, why do you want to do an interview with him? And AJ challenged him to a match tonight, which Baron accepted. And that ended up turning into our main event, which we'll talk about later. However, first, Jimbo, we need to cue my music for something here. By the way, Shane, I don't know if you're familiar. Scott really pushed.
He looks terrified.
Scott really pushed for this because apparently I talk a lot about wrestlers' fashion.
Keep in mind, I didn't cue his music. He cued his
I
music.
cued the music this time.
Oh, Scott, this is all Scott's idea. I swear.
Check the previous tapes. Scott enforced this, and it caught on like wildfire.
Never happened
Wildfire. We do wildflowers. We do an occasional segment here called Christian's Closet, where I talk about certain fashion in wrestling.
Occasional?
Every week.
I mean, it happens like maybe 4 times a show.
This happens every week, but we do it occasionally. Okay.
So anyway, I just want
Every 4
to
minutes.
bring up Baron Corbin's T-shirt here because no, you can keep the music going. It's fine.
No, it's something Scott brought on. Keep my music on.
So, Corbin's wearing this T-shirt that says "End of Days" on it. The back of it has initials of BC. I'm thinking, hey, they finally gave him a new T-shirt because he hasn't had a new T-shirt in like a year. Turns out,
It's for Bo Cooper.
no, not for independent wrestler in California, Bo Cooper. It is for this company or this band called Blackcraft.
Wait, this isn't a Corbin shirt?
It's not a Corbin shirt, but it has End of Days on it. It has BC on the back. It has this weird logo of like an animal skull with a heart inside it.
I can't imagine WWE's going to be happy about that. I
would hope
He
not.
wears different stuff
Yeah.
all the time. Like he wears Violent Gentleman T-shirts.
Yeah.
He wears different stuff. Like, that guy's a lone wolf. You can't tell him what to
Yeah,
wear.
who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop him?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so
Maybe Christian Rosenberg.
Maybe.
With this segment.
maybe.
Shirt versus shirt match.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I don't
You'd be
yeah.
like, I just need my own shirt now.
Well, I don't want to lose my shirts.
Don't lose.
But he's the lone wolf. He's a big guy.
Are you a heel?
You're the Lone
Yeah.
Rose.
Knock him out of the ring like AJ did.
Yeah, you're the
You
lone
gotta count it
rose.
out.
You're
I'm the lone rose.
You're the lone prick.
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
Come on, man. I think you can handle yourself.
You think I can handle Corbin? You think I should call out Baron
the
Corbin
lone
right
prick-
now?
Yes,
The
do
lone
it.
prick can handle himself.
Yep.
That should be your slogan.
All right, Corbin, you heard it. Apparently, I'm the lone prick, and I can handle you.
Shirt
Wait,
versus
that doesn't,
shirt
That
match.
doesn't sound right at all. That doesn't sound right at all.
More about yourself.
And I say we do it here. We do it here at AfterBuzz.
Yeah.
The loser has to do the rest of every show shirtless.
Every show.
Every show shirtless.
But Corbin doesn't normally come on this show.
Every show.
Every show.
That will probably
Make it
be
happen.
then.
Your odds are
That's
good.
probably going to be me.
Make it happen, Manunos.
Anywho.
Do you want the ratings or not?
I think me losing my shirt would destroy any ratings we had.
No. Just the
Through the
HD
roof.
quality.
Or the camera, yeah, the glare.
Yeah,
we go down to SD. real
everyone would have to.
I don't know what happened.
People would be listening to the show on iTunes wearing shades.
quick. Yeah.
Charlotte's backstage. She walks into Natty, Carmella, and Tamina. They welcome her, and they kind of like nudge into her as she's heading to the ring for a match with Naomi. Just a little like, hey, think you're the top dog around here? Well, yeah, we're here, so better watch yourself, right?
It's very strange.
That's exactly what they said verbatim.
Yeah.
Just now. But
And Tamina said nothing.
shocking.
Like, why? Like, I don't. Come on. She just came back. Let's give her one line to say.
I
One
wanted to-
line?
Just shove Ellsworth in the head. Like, just push his head.
Yeah, like I said, this is weird.
Don't
I
hinder Ellsworth,
Yeah.
guy, because we can't hinder Jinder anymore. So I guess we'll hinder Ellsworth now.
What do you
It's a
mean?
good
The
call.
big hog, he's flying high. He's good.
He's got a lady.
So Charlotte versus Naomi. Again, another match they gave a lot of time to, and this was as soon as Charlotte came to SmackDown. This was like, oh, we could see this feud happen because like pretty much the two most athletic women that are on the entire roster. They're going at, and they had a great match again. I feel like Charlotte's chops to Naomi were the loudest chops she's ever given. They sounded super painful.
Very intense.
And the ending sequence of this match was great also. Charlotte gave another chop. Naomi reversed it, went for the rear view, but instead Charlotte gave her a giant boot to the back
That was so
and,
cool.
and then into natural selection. Charlotte pins the champ clean and now has a title shot next week. So we get Naomi versus Charlotte again next week, and maybe next week will be the main event then because for the title.
Yeah.
True.
But again, this match, outstanding.
Yeah, it was a great match.
And I love the amount of time they gave it. Is like I don't know how else to describe it. It was just a really excellent women's division match. And you know, they talk about how much the women's division's excelling really on both brands. Now like you got Emma starting to do some things on Raw now, so they can elevate her a little bit. You have Alexa now being number one contender for Raw. We have Charlotte came to SmackDown now. They're involving Tamina again. So the depth of the women's division is increasing on both shows. And only good things are happening.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this match was awesome. The only thing I will say, storyline wise, of Charlotte getting, I mean, she's awesome. She's amazing. She is probably the best women's wrestler ever, and she's still, been doing this for like 5 years. The only thing I always hate when they do like, if you can beat the champion, you get a title shot. When it's like, okay, well, they beat the champion, they should just get the belt. like it's kind of like weird to be like, oh, you have to beat him and then beat him again to get the belt. I don't like those kind of matches. And with the whole like Natalya thing, I thought maybe it would be. I thought maybe we were gonna see a Becky heel turn come out and help Charlotte win, but we didn't see Becky at all tonight.
Yeah.
And then I thought maybe the other girl, Natalya and them were gonna come out and cost Charlotte the match to where we kind of like get Charlotte out of the title picture for now, for at least maybe the first month of her being on SmackDown, and maybe have her feud with Natalya and then have Tamina or somebody else step up to Naomi.
What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, I mean, I just love it's cool that we're at a place in the wrestling industry where like, yeah, that was a solid match, maybe one of the best matches of the evening. And, my only thing is, as you were saying that, is like, yeah, it might as well just have been a title match. I always like the days of wrestling where the main champion of division, like the WWE, would be the world champion or the main women's champion. Maybe don't even wrestle as much on the shows. Like I always like go back to example like Hulk Hogan in the Nitro days. Like it was a spectacle to see Hulk Hogan wrestle on a Nitro for the belt.
Yes.
So, I think that it would almost benefit to do less women's title matches and hype up to them more. That's my only takeaway. But, I mean, it was, solid match.
And I think Tom, going a little bit with what you were saying as far as why the women didn't interfere. I mean, I can see that more happening now next week because after this match ended, we see Charlotte backstage. The other women are giving her an evil stare, and she kind of gives them a wink. So I can almost see the women now interfering next week.
So she doesn't win.
And then Charlotte actually turns face. Because the crowd cheers her because of a great wrestler. And she did win tonight clean.
Yeah. And then you'd have, because it's kind of lopsided of like, you got Charlotte, Natalya, Tamina, and Carmella, and then you only have Becky
Naomi and Becky.
Yeah. So, I see that happening.
With Charlotte,
listen, I just went to the future and it's already predicted what's going to happen next week. There you go.
With Charlotte, too, it's kind of like what's happening with AJ Styles. That AJ Styles, the new contenders came into place and the crowd's cheering him, and he's not doing anything to fight it now. he's kind of riding that wave of, I think we're going to be seeing AJ Styles being a mega good guy, and Charlotte being on the show now. It's just sort of reinventing of her and just a new atmosphere, so she could be the face of this show as well.
Yeah, kind of like it could be a fun test. So, okay, still be as cocky as you normally are, but now do it like a good guy would.
Yeah.
It was like Flair, just like
Yeah.
I mean, like her dad. You know, like exactly how he was a face. You know?
I assumed you meant David.
You know, solid David Flair face.
Isn't he a former U.S. champion
I think he is. Probably.
and
Yeah.
tag team champion and hardcore champion?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what a Flair does.
Do it like David.
Do it like David.
Yeah, I didn't think of her turning face though, but yeah, that makes sense though, of them. Yeah, and then I could see Becky coming out to help her. Yeah, it makes sense. And then I think eventually, I think you get Becky turning because she hasn't been really
have
bad
Becky make
since.
the turn. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
We shall.
Yeah.
We shall, Tom.
We shall see.
Primo and Epico Cologne. The Colognes. That is how they were introduced tonight. Not the Shining Stars.
Good.
Even though that was still on the trunks. The Colognes.
They got their last name back.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
And they took on American Alpha. I mean, this was a fun match. It didn't go too long or anything like that, but it was a fun tag team match. Primo and Epico kind of reminded everybody of, oh, by the way, we're good wrestlers. You just never got to see that for the last 2 years. And Epico was going for a sunset flip on, I think it was Jordan. And then Primo gave him a kick from the apron. Epico rose him up. And Primo and Epico pinned the former tag champs. So all of a sudden now, Primo and Epico are jumping up the rankings for a possible title shot down the road.
Mm-hmm.
A Puerto Rican tag team. Very international SmackDown.
That's true.
Yeah. They're pushing it pretty hard. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're, we talk about diversity with Jinder's promo, how he brought up diversity. Well, you have Jinder as the #1 contender, Primo and Epico with a big win.
Mm-hmm.
You have the face of America as a Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles from Atlanta, Georgia, or Gainesville, Georgia.
Nakamura.
Yeah, Nakamura's another
Nakamura.
big one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger, Canadian. Lots of worldly talents on SmackDown.
What is the World Wrestling
Well, and
Entertainment Company?
and speaking of worldly talents, we have another vignette for Lana doing this whole little dance thing.
How do you guys
Ravishing
feel
Russian.
about where this is going?
Feel like that chair's got the best job. In the business. Good chair.
Can't disagree on that one.
I mean, yeah. I dig it. I don't know
I
what else.
just want to know if all of a sudden we're just going to be like, oh, she's not going to be around Rusev anymore. Because Rusev is on SmackDown too.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
still, had surgery or something.
Right,
So
he's out with
for a
injury
while.
for a little while.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to know, Jimbo, Lent is over. Would you buy the Lana... Yeah.
What are we?
Lent
What?
is over.
Yes.
Would you buy the Elite Collection Lana with chair figure?
Okay, I have Lana and the Rusev 2-pack, so I don't really buy. I
You don't get multiple of the same person.
yeah, it depends on who it is. Like if it's someone I'm super into,
Oh,
like
that's
I
a
have
Sting
a
figure.
ton of Cesaros and Stings. Yeah, but I only needed like one Lana. I almost bought the Lana that had when she was with Ziggler, just because I thought that'd be rare, but I didn't get it.
You can never
It
have
was
enough
rare.
Lana. You can't have
This is
enough
Lana
Lana.
with the chair.
What kind of chair are we talking? Like a breakable chair?
No.
It
Every
was-
chair is breakable.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was a
WWE.
chair she was dancing on.
Yeah.
Possibly.
All right.
Now, something someone brought up before the show was really interesting was, do you think this was the character they were kind of wanting Emelina to do?
I think it
And they're
is.
like, oh, Lana will definitely pull this off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that, and even a little bit of Eva Marie, where it's like, all right, we've been doing vignettes for these characters, and we want them to pay off in some big way, but it doesn't work out. So, all right, let's try.
Let's try with Lana. I mean, we know Lana has the charisma for it.
Do you think she's going to have Russian accent?
Oh,
Sure.
You think she'll stick with it?
Or the
I
chair will
hope
have it.
so.
The
Or
chair will have suddenly developed a Russian accent.
Please, the dance.
the chair contracted the Russian accent.
Yeah.
That's how she got rid of it.
Yeah, I guess she. I feel like she has to keep it Like, unless they do a weird storyline where they kind of like expose her as not being, as being an American the whole time, but they're not. I don't think they're ever going to do that with them.
She said something in the past. She was taking accent classes or something.
But no, she grew up in Russia, so it's like she
Well, it's interesting. I mean, not too long ago, she was on the Tomorrow Show with Kevin Arngara, our boss, and she was on it with no accent or anything.
Well, on the Total Divas, she has no accent.
Right.
She's CJ, so it's like she's not even Lana on the show. You're like, okay, but I mean, also Naomi is not Naomi.
Maybe they'll just edge and Christian it where they're like, oh yeah, now they're not brothers. Whatever.
Now they're not married. Go for it, Enzo.
Now it makes sense why Enzo was naked around Lana. Dasha's backstage with Tye Dillinger. They show a little video package of Tye and explaining why he's the perfect 10.
That was weird. She asked him questions and he's like, hold on, I brought a video.
I brought a video.
I thought the same thing.
And that answers your question, right? All right, bye.
I knew what you were gonna ask me.
And I edited a little video.
Yeah.
I hope you like it.
I had a feeling you were gonna ask me this question.
I really hope they make it. Okay, you're being overly cocky now, and it almost kind of develops him into a heel.
He was walking around backstage with his tape. Does anyone wanna ask me a question?
It's a VHS tape.
Yeah.
It's rewound. It's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna put him with Ziggler first. Feuding with Ziggler when he first came up, but it seems like Ziggler's
gonna be with Nakamura.
Yeah. So I don't know I don't know what they're gonna do with him now. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of worries me because you're like, all right, he's been there for. I mean, it's only been like 2 weeks, but
I'm worried. What's gonna happen? He's buried. No,
no, I don't think that.
Dillinger's done, guys. He's done. He's ruined.
Well, it's like a
All
Sami
those guys-
Zayn type
yes,
of situation.
all those guys where it's like, okay, they bring them over and they have them start off and they destroy guys in 2 minutes, and then it's like, all right, well, what do you do with them now?
In a month, I think all these people are gonna have amazing matches for Backlash.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen soon. With Luke Harper, I think is another one that I was super bummed that he didn't win that #1 contendership, but there's no way that he doesn't have some singles or some sort of tag or fatal 4-way of something at Backlash.
We need to just bring back the TV title, put it on Tye Dillinger.
That's right.
Nice.
Give someone else a.
The perfect 10 TV matches were 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. He gives you a perfect 10-minute match every week. Make it work. It makes sense. The Face of America Open Challenge. Kevin Owens' face is on the entire ramp. And on the entire Tron. It's just a giant close-up of his face.
Oh, he got the best face in America, so.
He's the face of America. So everyone needs to see it.
We're having a face-off between these two with AJ Styles, the face that runs the place, and now we're having the face of America. Someone's really obsessed with the word face.
Yeah.
over at SmackDown Live.
So he's in the ring. He kicks Greg Hamilton out of the ring because he wants to introduce himself.
And he says, "You're terrible at this."
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I mean, he's no Christy St. Cloud. He's not.
No, not at all.
Hi, Christy St. Cloud.
She's busy.
Yeah.
She watching this.
I felt like I know her from somewhere. Anyway, we find out his opponent tonight is Louisville's own Gary Gandy.
That was so great. I got a question. Have you ever noticed when they bring in these guys for these types of matches, every one of them are horrible on the mic? Do you think it's genuinely like every one of them are that bad on the mic, that every one of them are nervous, or do you think the WWE tells them to not be good because if they overshadow the guy in the ring? Like, do you think they
tell him.
Do you think they tell him like, oh, play it down, play it nervous, like?
We only got room for one Ellsworth, and we hired that guy.
Yeah.
Like, no more.
They could bring a new job squad. I was talking about that. I would love a new job squad with Ellsworth as the leader.
Cool.
But no, do you think that they tell these like jobber wrestlers to?
I could see that. Yeah, where it's like, look, just be dopey.
Because
be
every
goofy.
time I see them, I'm like, you have like 10 seconds on the mic. Just go crazy. Like, give it all you got. Like, and every one of them are like, I'm doing this for my hometown. Like, it just kind of baffles me. But then it got me thinking, like, maybe the guys backstage are telling them to downplay.
But it's like go big with your dopiness or wimpiness. Like do it huge.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you had a type of thing where you know, like Kevin Owens, all right, who's my opponent tonight? And the guy's like, look, I'm Gary Gandy. I'm from Louisville, and I'm bringing the U.S. title back to America and back to Louisville.
Give that guy a contract.
Right? They don't want to do it because all of a sudden, like, oh, well, this guy's all of a sudden like now the crowd's
he can't
really behind. He can't overshadow it. So,
but I mean,
I'm Gary Gandy.
Yeah, but also if you did it that way and then Kevin Owens beats him, like it's like Kevin Owens obviously gonna beat this guy, you know. So it's like it's just Kevin Owens showing more of his dominance and being like, I don't care. This guy can, you know, come in with all the confidence he wants. I'm still gonna kick his ass.
Are you telling me you didn't think Gary Gandy had a chance tonight?
Oh, I thought Kevin Owens
his
was
tights were
done.
fantastic.
Speaking of those tights,
Go ahead, Shane. You break this one down if you want to
Oh,
talk
those
about
tights
it.
were fantastic. They were beautiful. 10 out of 10. Mwah, mwah, mwah. That's my review in the segment.
I love the tassels on the tights,
I did too.
but I loved how he popped up way too early. For
Oh
the
my
powerbomb.
God. I
And,
was
like, luckily,
cringing.
Luckily, he jumped high enough and.
Oh, but did you
Kevin
see? Did you
Owens
see how
was
angry
on-
Owens was after?
Yeah,
He
was not a happy
palmed him for that pin in the face. Oh, man. He was so pissed. And then he stepped on him after.
You
don't think
know,
he was
you know
supposed
we
to
were
do
talking
that.
about, like, all right, Gary, you have those 10 seconds on
You
the mic.
had one
you also have
shot.
to do that one move.
Oh, man. I feel so bad because if you really think about it, this is Gary Gandy's one shot probably ever with the WWE. And he really messed it up. Like, not about the mic. I'm talking about that pop-up powerbomb. Like, you popped up too early and Owens was very pissed.
After Owens
But great tights. He might get signed just because it's tights.
Just because of the tights.
Beautiful tights, beautiful 10 out of 10. Mwah, mwah. Segment finished.
I feel.
Oh, whoa!
Chat-
Controversy in
I
the
was going
chat
to say,
roll.
chat roll saying you outshine my closet segment. So, I don't know if that means
Throw
we
him
have
out
to-
of the
I
closet.
don't know if that means we have to retire.
Why are you talking like Gary Gandy?
Now Rosenberg's gonna have to rage and take Tom's segment.
And
I'm fine
Scott's
with
going to
that.
find some story from the dirt sheets.
Easy. Roman Reigns is transgender. Believe that?
I do. That's why he's been off for 2 weeks. He needed the surgery.
Got it.
Boom.
Had to, yeah.
Broken ribs.
Why do you think he wears the
Shoulder.
protector? He's keeping the boobs down.
Yeah.
Gotta get that flat chest.
Here at SmackDown AfterBuzz, we break down the real news for
Yeah, the real fake news.
you.
That'd be so great if someone picked that up.
Don't pick that up, please.
Roman Reigns.
Don't do
Come on,
it.
Ryan.
Out.
Pick it up.
Out
Expose
until
yourself
payback.
for being a terrible
Yeah.
reporter.
It was first an exclusive report on AfterBuzz TV. They announced that Roman Reigns has been off TV due to a sex change.
Yep. It's coming back as Rowena Reigns.
He wants that women's title. Feels he can beat Bailey.
Finally get cheered.
So Owens, after the match, he gets on the microphone and he's saying, you know, as long as I'm your U.S. champion, I'll remain the face of America. Jericho isn't going to take it away. AJ's not going to take it away. Nobody will take it away from me. And I'm going to give the commentary some much Canadian insight for the main event because they need it. And that leads into the main event, Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles. Baron Corbin threw AJ everywhere. Like, I'm surprised AJ didn't hit the back row of the arena the way Corbin was throwing him around.
These guys have a really great chemistry.
They do.
Yeah, I really appreciate even from the beginning of the match with the leg kicks and just everything they do. It reminded me a little bit of early TNA days with Abyss and AJ Styles. That on paper you look and you go like, I don't know if these two are gonna gel, but it's credit to AJ and he's unlocking something in Baron that Baron's really showcasing himself with AJ Styles.
Yeah, like that triple threat match the two of them had with Ziggler at it was right around Christmas
Oh,
time.
that was awesome.
was excellent.
Even the match last week.
Yeah, the match last week was great too.
Last week was awesome too.
So this match again, great match between the two of them. Towards the end of the match, we know the match is getting ready to end soon because we have the countdown for Team Ninja Warrior. So we're just like, oh no.
I was waiting for any second Tony Schiavone to just pop out and be like, we're running out of time.
Tune in to Talking Smack about what happened tonight.
Tune in to the network.
Baron Corbin delivers a backdrop on the outside of the ring to AJ, and AJ falls onto Kevin Owens. Corbin and AJ brawl a little more. Eventually, AJ runs off the apron, off the steps with a phenomenal forearm, knocks Corbin over the barricade, and AJ rolls into the ring before the count of 10, so AJ gets the win by countout.
To be fair, the ref apparently was counting 10 the entire time, according to the crowd. So
It's true. He said 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
On the
Always
10th
confuses
10,
me.
Yeah.
Always
I don't
confuses
think the ref knew what number he was at though.
He's like,
Like
oh,
he definitely like when he looked like AJ like slid in the ring and then he was just like, all right, let's just ring the bell because I think I may be at 10, but okay, whatever, let's just do this.
I wasn't putting my fingers up.
Yeah.
By the way, do you think there's been a ref that screwed this count up
I'm
yet?
sure.
I would hope
Yeah.
not, because that's their one job. To count. To 3 and to 10. That's all you do.
And
But
5
it's
in
so
the corner.
catchy.
And
Five in the
five,
corner.
Imagine
It's so
if-
catchy.
Imagine if the guy in their earpiece was like messing them up too.
Oh, God.
Like
Sorry, I'm
seven,
just
counting down.
7, and like the crowd's shouting 10. And you're like, what number am I?
I'm on 4. What's going on?
But when Scott mentioned AJ Styles versus Abyss, it really made me wish instead of barricades they had guardrails like they used to, because AJ and Abyss would always do this cool spot where he'd Irish whip him into the guardrail, and he would legit slide under the guardrail and then use it to springboard off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was
AJ
cool
would
stuff.
slide under the guardrail.
Yeah,
Mhm.
isn't that
Oh.
crazy to think how big that space is, and he would slide under.
How
like,
did he
would-
fit?
Yeah, I need to see a clip of that.
Mhm.
He had short hair then.
Oh, that's what it was.
Hair.
It's the hair. So, yeah, AJ wins by countout. To me, this still makes Corbin look strong because he was not pinned.
Mhm.
He still beat the crap out of AJ. AJ still gets to win. Owens is kind of shaken up by AJ being thrown on him by Corbin. And, I mean, now you can even go, Corbin next week is angry at Owens, saying, like, Owens got in the way and cost him the match or things like that, and kind of sprinkle him in the U.S. title picture a little bit, too.
When is the pay-per-view? Not next week, the week after, right?
That's
That's
for
one more week.
Payback.
Yeah. But it's still.
I mean, Owens
has
is
it,
still
yeah.
on that one, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, like we said, this was just a jam-packed SmackDown. We should briefly talk. There was one piece of news, and it was somewhat serious that happened today, where Matthew Anoa'i, better known as Rosie, in WWE, he did pass away. I think it was like very early this morning. Of course, he's the brother of Roman Reigns. Our thoughts and prayers, of course, to their family. I have one fun story about an interaction I had with Rosie many years ago. I was at a live event. This was in Hartford. This was just after Jamal got fired, so Rosie, he wasn't with the Hurricane yet.
Okay.
He was still like 3-minute warning Rosie, but they had no idea what to do with him. And of course, this was when, so like I said, it was around like 17, 18. This is when I first discovered dirt sheets and thinking every single thing on them is 100% true. So I am just being a total a-hole heckler at this show because I felt I was smarter than everyone else. And I'm pretty much around ringside. There was a match. You want to talk about 4 people that they had no idea what to do with. It was Rosie and Lance Storm as a team versus the Hurricane and Tommy Dreamer.
Wow. Right out of a tumbler.
Yeah. So the match is going on. I'm yelling because it was literally like maybe 2 days before that Jamal was fired, before he came back as Umaga, and I'm just yelling and heckling. The match ends. Hurricane and Dreamer win the match. Rosie rolls out of the ring like right in front of me, and I'm just yelling, just being just so stupid.
What'd you yell?
I yelled at him like, all right, you should try to find Jamal in the back. Oh, he's not in the back? That's because he's fired, and that's where you're going to be. Or something like, Like looking at back at it now.
Being a prick.
I was being a prick. I was being a lone prick. I was being a complete lone prick at the time. This was long before I was even in the wrestling business and really knew a goddamn thing about anything. Rosie just gives me like the stare of death. And he slowly starts getting up to his feet and he starts like walking towards me. And Landstorm runs in and starts pushing Rosie away. He's like, no, we're going to the back. We're going to the back.
You about got slapped.
I'm just like, I was about to die.
He's like, leave that guy and his girlfriend alone.
I was there with my brother.
I know he's talking about the guy and the girlfriend. Your brother and his girlfriend.
No, I'm not. But I'm not a girl.
Wait, what?
Whoa. Wait, what?
No, that was the news about Roman, not about me.
Yeah, this is confusing.
This got awkward.
But yeah, so
Landstorm saved your life.
Landstorm has saved my life. I thank Landstorm every day. Like my morning prayers, I thank Landstorm. But yeah, so I mean, Rosie, I felt he was a very underrated talent.
Good thing he was so serious. Good thing he was so serious.
Landstorm. Yes.
Sorry, that was late.
I'm like, what?
3-minute warning. I do have very fond memories of that because I thought it was such a cool thing. Like Bischoff just saying 3 minutes, and then these two gigantic guys coming in and destroying and doing the top rope splashes.
Well, I mean, Billy and Chuck wedding wouldn't have been what it was without that ending. Like it was.
Oh yeah.
I loved it. Loved it.
And that match, I think it's against the Hardy Boys, at like a Royal Rumble or something like that, like a tables match. It was really good too. I mean, I think they like destroyed Jeff or one of them going through the table. You're like, oh, that just did not look right. But
and then even at the tail end of the Attitude Era, where we're still having some things that are a little racy and things like that. We have superhero in training, and if think of the initials to that, Scott. Think about what it spells.
John Cena said it a while ago.
Yeah, almost. Almost. Well, the H was silent. Yeah. And they were just like really entertaining segments with him and Hurricane, and I was enjoying those because like I like those tag teams with like the little guy and the big guy. I know Scott's gonna compare it to Enzo and Cass right now and who he hates. But
not a tag team.
Right.
That's a person walking with a piece of garbage.
This is definitely Scott's segment.
I think you're saying man with a rat, but
oh yeah, that too. I mean, it's all in your viewpoint.
But yeah, so I mean, he will be missed. But yeah, I mean, so that pretty much wraps up this week's SmackDown. An amazing SmackDown.
Yeah,
really
so
good.
many stories developing. Jinder Mahal is our #1 contender
for the WWE title.
Like for like the main title at a pay-per-view. He is main eventing a pay-per-view in like 6 weeks.
In Chicago.
Is that one in Chicago?
Yeah, it's in Chicago. That's going to be a really interesting crowd. I think it's going to be a very pro-gender crowd that night.
You think so?
Yes.
Chicago's yes. Kind of weird,
But like they like rooting for like the underdogs too.
Yeah.
And if but it's Randy's not the underdog though.
I mean, could Jinder be our next WWE champion?
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Well, right now he's got a 50-50 shot as long as they keep it a one-on-one match.
True.
I wouldn't really be that up. I wouldn't care if he won. Like I think it'd be something different. Finally somebody new in the title picture. Like why not? Like what? And also, they never really said if Bray wins the belt from Randy, where does the belt go? Like they never said like if like they're saying like, oh, if Jericho wins, he's on SmackDown. But they're never saying like, hey, if Bray wins, he's back on SmackDown.
Or it could just mean that Bray brings that title to Raw and then Lesnar shows up on SmackDown.
I
want to like just drop that in each week. It's not gonna happen.
But that's really gonna annoy me though if Jinder gets the shot and then suddenly they're taking the belt away.
No, that means Jinder faces Lesnar at Backlash. That's what that means.
I want to see that though. I want to see him fight Randy Orton or Bray Wyatt. I want him to have a chance. I don't want him to get destroyed.
I think
We're already starting this push.
Are you saying Jinder can't beat Lesnar?
Oh, I'm sure he can. I mean, look at him. He's ripped. But
oh my God. What were you gonna say, Scott?
I think the gender thing is great. It's interesting. It's new. It's fresh. I am still of the traditional mindset of when I see a world champion, I want them to have a legacy of having the 5-star matches, the classic matches, to be a champion. It would be great shock value, but I still want Jinder to get to that spot. So if there's a chase, if he, wins by DQ and then we have a match again, like building up the story of Jinder to win it rather than just a hot shot of like, wasn't that shocking and crazy? Like, if you're going to do it, let's run with it.
That's the only thing holding me back too, is I just think he needs a little more history, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Well, they got about 6 weeks to give him a history and to build him up and see what we can get out of it. So we got lots to talk about with this show and leading up to Backlash and, of course, Payback in a couple weeks. We want to hear your thoughts on all of it, too, so you can leave comments on the YouTube page and talk to us on various forms of social media.
Okay,
Scott,
hold on.
before
You sign us out.
Yes, Jimbo.
What if he takes the approach of more like a MVP, like I'm rich and I'm better than you?
Much better.
Kind of character than the stereotypical, like, oh, he's bad because he's foreign, and listen to his music and look at his head wrap. Like, I just want something so much more for him. Like, if he comes out and he's like, look at my body, I am a specimen. Look at my bank accounts. Look at, like, my castles, and I'm better than all of you. Why don't I have the world title?
Almost like an original Alberto Del Rio type character.
Yeah. And you could say, like, they begged me to come back to this company. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he did mention his wealth in the promo after the match, too. So, yeah, if he suddenly showed up next week in a limo, like you see in the back a limo pull up, and he walks out of it in like a really nice suit because now I'm #1 contender.
There were
type deal.
rumors that the WWE again were trying to bring back Alberto Del Rio within the past like 2 to 3 weeks. So what if because apparently from what I've heard, Alberto was like, hell no. And what if they're like, okay, well, let's just give this same kind of character or the original type of Alberto character to a different person that could pull it off.
Yeah, why not?
It'd be worth a shot.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want Del Rio back though. Like, I don't. What else?
No, but I'm saying like this could have been what they were going to use him for. You never know.
No, his Twitter videos are far too entertaining.
Well, we can talk about all those on the YouTube page and our various forms of social media. Scott, how can people reach out to you?
You can reach out to me on social media at Scott Narver. You can listen to Fox Sports Wrestling Compadre Slamcast. We have Josh Matthews reacting this week to his loss of Team GOAT on Impact Wrestling. That's a must hear. And then this Friday, we have got AJ Mendez Brooks talking about our new book. That is a wonderful, wonderful book. Crazy is My Superpower. A full interview with her, so you want to check that out.
Awesome. Tom Connolly.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TomTheCom.
Hey, Shane, thanks for being on the show tonight.
Oh, man. Thanks for having me.
How can people reach out to you?
People can find me, Shane Hartline, on any social media, Twitter, Instagram, everything. But also, I am a very big fan of the YouTube channel, youtube.com/onyourmarkshow, as I think, Scott, you're
Scott
a big
likes to
fan
plug it, too.
I do. I figured you were such a fan as well that you...
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
There's an Abyss episode.
There's an Abyss episode, and I
That's a great
think Blue Pants is coming out tomorrow. That's their new episode. I'm looking forward to it. It's my favorite channel on YouTube.
I almost feel like he fixed Matt Hardy. I don't think he's broken anymore.
That was he conducted Matt Hardy's very last broken interview, and that's on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, so you should definitely check that out. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Will Rosenberg, Instagram the Will Rosenberg, and buy the T-shirts, please. ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. Of course, follow Jimbo on Twitter at Jimbo in the Booth, and for all your other AfterBuzz TV news and gossip, follow them on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. For Scott Narver, Tom Connolly, and Shane Hartline, I'm Christian Rosenberg. We'll see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.